back. I thought we'd make a simple piece of music today with just 4 tracks. It's going to be a chiptune piece, and well, going to make it. I'm going to show you how I made it. I did this quite a long time ago when I was making a pack of 100 pieces of chiptune music. Now this is only going to use 4 tracks. This was one of the earliest pieces that I did, and I was trying to emulate the Game Boy. So I think I've already showed this in another video, but the plugin that I use is, well, it's Contact, but the actual thing, Contact library I use is called Super Audio Boy, and it's free, so I definitely recommend that. And it's just got really simple sounds that, if we get them up, sound like the Game Boy. I think they're pretty authentic as well, so definitely worth a download if you own Contact. I think if you've only got Contact Play, you can probably only just demo it for like a few minutes or something. Right, let's have a look at what we start with in this piece. The drums. So the drums are very simple. It does come with drum kits, so you will get that sort of authentic, well, at least chiptune. I'm not sure if the Game Boy came with it. Anyway, let's have a listen. That's it. That is literally the drum beat going through the piece. Now, I think did it have any variations? When you're writing in 15 minutes, you kind of just go, right, what is complex enough to make it sound varied? So a 4-bar loop with a bit of interest in it, that is all that I use. So we've got the bass drum, the snare drum, another snare drum, and a hi-hat. And you have a look at that pattern. Pretty simple. Right, underneath it we have some bass, and this is going to be using the triangle on the plugin. So this is, open up the wrong one. This is a triangle. So the 2 triangle ones are generally what you're going to use when you're doing chiptune to make a bass sound. Let's see what notes I used. Let's have a listen. How simple is that? Just going A, G, F, G. That's all it is, and it's just playing every beat basically, or twice every beat. And that together is pretty simple until we bring in the next element, which is going to be a pulse wave, and it sounds like this. Again, really simple. It is just literally E and A. So we're playing if the note is A, the main note of the chord, then the 5th is below it. So this is going to be the E. Ultra simple, just following the chord progression, which is set out by the bass there. And then all I do, when you've only got a few instruments, you've got to go, well, what am I going to take out? What am I going to put in? So here, all I've done is started the next section, the same drum beat, I believe, just with I guess I'm using it as a crash because it probably doesn't have a crash. Let's have a listen. That is the main line for the beginning melody, and I'll show you the automation here. All I have done is put modulation on it, and it starts later on. So the first 2 notes are clean, but let me add the automation in here. So the first 2 notes are nice and clean. And the next lot of notes are modulated, so you get a bit more vibrato to the sound. Fantastic. And then, yeah, literally all I do to add variation is bring back this pulse wave here. And I've started it slightly earlier, that first beat, so it comes in before the beat, sorry, the first note comes before the beat. Yes, and here, just to lead it in, I have got a pitch bend that is going bum, 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 so... Using pitch bends and things like that in chiptune music really gives it a lot of variation along with the modulations, so make sure you're doing that. Brilliant, and then we've got a new section here. So, is the drums the same? I think they might be. Let's copy and paste them all in for this next section. This piece, again, if you're only writing 15 minutes, you haven't got long, and it's enough if you're writing something for, I don't know, a level that's only going to be a minute long or maybe 2 minutes long. You only need the piece of music to be, well, what's this? This is 53 seconds long. That's plenty, because if you loop it twice, that's all you need. Right. Yep, I've just got a longer crash at the beginning. That's it. Brilliant. And now we have got a new section. So let's start off with the bass, as that's going to be the most important thing to give you the chords. And we're just going now from the F, G, A, C, repeated. Sounds simple by itself, but then we add the saw wave back in with a different part. So that just gives enough of variation, and I suggest doing that. You don't want to make melodies ultra complicated. You want to keep them not repetitive, but so there's bits that the listener can latch on to, and doing like the first half of it the same, and then the second half of it you put your variations in, is a great way of doing that. And then finally, on top of that, we've got the pulse wave, which is now doing this. It's sort of acting as a harmony to the bass, but because of the pulse wave being a completely different waveform, it doesn't actually clash with the triangle acting as the actual proper bass. Now the second half of it, couple of notes, lead it up there to lead it back into the beginning, and then that literally loops back round. And it is quite a clean loop. So there, with that, I am literally the first time keeping it simple, and then the second half of it we're just making it very slightly more complicated. Got a little lead in to. Now, are they the same notes but an octave above? Yep, they are indeed. So 2 octaves above, and that's following until we get to this last section where we're just going up more. Really simple. You don't need to make these pieces of music ultra complicated when it's just chiptune. Obviously you can get very complicated within the genre, but for something which is playing the background of a video game, you don't need that much. Now, I don't often restrict myself to 4 instruments, and when I was doing this 100 pieces of music, I only did a handful of them with 4 because it was just easier to, 7 or 8 instruments. It makes it actually easier to write, I find. So let's just have a playthrough, and if this helps you, please give us a thumbs up, and if you actually want to learn how to write video game music, then maybe consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.